The final night at Hotel de Minuit. The hallway smelled like clandestine, the wallpaper curling away from the walls as if trying to escape. The hotel lobby was quiet, almost eerily so. A flickering chandelier buzzed overhead. The concierge barely looked up from his screen as Vivian strolled in first. Wearing a sleek midnight blue trench, heels muted, hair curled just enough to catch the light. Behind her, June clutched her shoulder bag tight, eyes flicking everywhere. She brought up the rear, subtly palming the small tracker Luke had given her. "We look like spies," June whispered. "We are spies," Vivian replied. But in couture. Luke was already in place, stationed in the alley across the street with eyes on the service entrance. Dorian had taken the rear corridor, slipping in unnoticed through a broken fire exit he'd wedged open earlier that day. They were heading to the 6th floor, which had been sealed off for maintenance, but locals whispered that it was cursed. The floor where things vanished, footsteps echoed without owners, and cold spots lingered, which made it, naturally, the perfect hiding place for stolen treasure. June, crouched beside the emergency stairwell door, jimmied the lock with a hairpin. Luke's voice murmured in her earpiece. "Security's eyes are looped for 10 minutes. After that, you're on your own." June checked her watch. "We have 6 minutes." The door creaked open with the reluctant groan of old metal. Vivian stepped in first, flashlight tucked under her arm like an old-school detective. "It smells like regret and unpaid taxes in here," she whispered. "You sure this is where they'd keep them?" "Think like a thief," June muttered. "You need somewhere quiet, undisturbed, and easy to control." They crept past rusted room doors, all locked or bolted shut. Finally, room 604, that's how all the rooms connected all the way down to 204. Inside, behind stacked crates and dusty armoires, they found it, an old linen closet converted into a hidden inventory room. And there, a clear acrylic box glinting under the beam of June's flashlight. Vivian gasped. There they were, her mother's earrings, sitting on top of what looked like a velvet-lined tray of other stolen items. Luxury watches, passports, diamonds, designer bags with tags still on. Suddenly, a floorboard creaked. Not near them. Above them. June turned sharply. "Did you hear that?" Vivi whispered. "Attic crawl space?" She stood. Of course they'd be old school. This whole place screams vintage crime. The power flickered. June went pale. "That's not us, is it?" Dorian's voice crackled in June's earpiece. "Stand by. They're moving in." Confirmed figure entering 6th floor east wing. Slow and careful. Could be more than one. Tap, tap, tap. Footsteps outside the door. Then a second pair. Slow. Calculated. "Say on catalog of crime," June breathed. Vivian reached out, trembling. "I found them." But then, clang. Footsteps echoed from the other end of the corridor. Dorian's voice, 2 figures. Masked. Gloves. "Headed to your room. Girls, you've got less than a minute." "Luke." Perimeter sealed. "Back team is ready. Do not engage. Just wait." The doorknob turned. The girls backed into the shadows, hearts pounding as 2 figures approached, masked, gloved, efficient. One carried a canvas bag, the other a clipboard. The door creaked open, a flashlight beam cut across the room. 2 silhouettes stepped inside. "Passport batch goes here," one said in French. "Shipments in 48 hours. Boss doesn't like delays." Vivi tapped June's arm. "That's the missing batch." They waited, hearts thudding, until Vivian accidentally nudged the acrylic box with her heel. It tumbled off the shelf, crack. The sound echoed like a gunshot. "Who's there?" Flashlights swung toward the closet. Before the men could run, Dorian kicked the door open from the hallway. Trench coat flying, pistol raised, non-lethal of course. Police! On the ground! Luke followed from the rear stairwell, gun-trained, voice firm. Drop the bag. Now! The thieves froze. One bolted. June tripped him with the leg of a chair. He went down hard. Dorian caught the other, slamming the door behind him. It was over in seconds. Breathless, Vivian knelt, picked up the earrings again. This time they were really hers. And June, wide-eyed, whispered, "Guess the 6th floor wasn't haunted after all." "Only by greed," Vivi said. The lights buzzed in the quiet hallway as the girls waited outside the interrogation room. Inside, the two thieves were being questioned. The younger one had already confessed to their part in the operation. A courier for a faceless syndicate that paid for items retrieved from vulnerable, high-profile tourists. The mastermind? Still elusive. But the myth of the ghost thief was gone. Vivi sat beside June, sipping a terrible vending machine coffee. "Do you think they'll catch the boss?" "Eventually," June murmured. "This was bigger than we thought. It wasn't just about yours earrings. It was a whole smuggling pipeline. But we cracked part of it. They almost took everything from us. But now," Vivi looked back at them, smiling tiredly, "now we're going home with more than we came with." "Not souvenirs," June said. "Stories. Wounds. Courage." Dorian approached, trench coat now slung casually over one shoulder. "The girls from room 304, quite the team." Vivian smiled up at him. "Uncle Dorian, you didn't just save my earrings. You reminded me of who I come from." He softened. "You're your mother's daughter in more ways than one. When the time's right, ask your father again. He owes you the truth." June looked at him. "Thanks for sticking around with us. We couldn't have done without you." Luke met her eyes, then quickly looked away, the mention still raw. But he nodded. "For justice, for you, and of course for Vivi, too." The girls laughed. This time the sound wasn't nervous or tired. It was real. The Eiffel Tower was standing tall and gold-kissed by sunrise. The girls stood wrapped in scarves, pastries in hand, arms looped around each other. "I still can't believe we did that," Vivi whispered. "I can do that again and often," June said, half joking. "You know, chase crime across the world." Vivian smirked. "Maybe next time with less rooftop chases and more champagne brunch." They laughed, and then Vivian looked serious. "No matter where we go, no matter how grown-up we get, can we promise something?" June nodded. "That we'll keep doing this. Traveling. Together. Even when life gets crazy. Forever," June added. They watched the city come alive below them, two silhouettes against the Parisian light, wiser, stronger, still themselves. The beginning of everything.